Hey guys, welcome to Chef Grace's Place. I want to talk about something really important, meal prepping. So since the pandemic started, saving every single penny has been really important. And especially now that the CARES Act is ending in July, you know, my job's not coming back. I might get my part-time job back, but that's not gonna be anywhere near as much money as I was getting flying, and I'm also gonna be, you know, losing my health insurance. And the only thing I can do really, because I'm not gonna be bringing in money, is to save everywhere I can. And in most household budgets, food is a giant cost. Luckily for me, I'm a chef. Something you guys probably don't know about chefs is, aside from making delicious food, we're also in charge of the kitchen budget. This is going to be the introduction to kitchen budgeting, and we're just going to start with some meal prepping. So the first thing you want to do is you're going to plan out what you're going to make during the week. And meal prepping is, for me, it's essential that I make things in large batches, number one. And number two, this might sound boring, but I don't want to make dishes that, I want them to taste good, but I don't want them to have a specific flavor, and I'll tell you why. If I make barbecue pulled pork, right? I'm stuck with barbecue for the rest of the week, and I might get bored with that. But if I make a pulled pork with maybe some nice citrus flavors, I kind of go more carnitas style or whatever, then I could add barbecue sauce to that later and make it barbecue, or I can do something else with it, right? Change it up. And when people meal prep, one of the most common things is they get bored, and then they're like, oh, I don't really want beef stew again for dinner, and they go out and buy something. So you want to do everything you can to stick to your meal prep, not get bored of it, and save money. Don't buy anything. Convenience is key when you're meal prepping, right? You want to do things that are simple and easy, and you want to create pantry items. What I mean by pantry items is, you know, if you go into Chipotle or Subway or any like quick food service place, it's not like Chipotle, the line guy making your burrito is grilling that chicken for your burrito, right? So if you're starting from scratch every day that you're making dinner, it's gonna take forever, and it's going to, you know, kind of seem overwhelming on days that you're busy. So my two best friends are this crock pot and this rice cooker. About once a week I make something in the crock pot, and that's for those days that are like, you know, filling in. I always make a ton of rice and have it in the fridge. It usually lasts 4 or 5 days. And you know, the first day we'll eat it with dinner. Second day, maybe we'll eat it with, you know, something that has a little extra sauce to hydrate the rice a little bit more. And then by the third day, it's nice and dried out for fried rice. It's a pantry item that can be used in a multitude of different ways. And that's what you want to keep in mind when you're meal prepping. There's a few parts you want to focus on in the kitchen budget. You have purchasing. Where are you getting your food from? Right? You need to be competitive with this. You can't just buy everything from one supplier and miss out on lower prices elsewhere for the same quality. So here I have a great example of shopping around. This is a 5-pound bag of basmati rice, right? I forgot how much I paid for it at Publix, but I think it was more expensive than at Presidente. Presidente, I saw it for $11.99, but this is only 5 pounds. This bag of basmati rice, which comes in this super cool sack, that I definitely want to do something with was $18.99, which you might be saying, oh, that's more expensive, but it's 15 pounds. It's 3 times as big. So, sounds worth it to me. Now, granted, I haven't tried this rice yet, so another thing is quality. Is it worth the savings? By presentation, it looks like it is, but I won't know till I try it, which I encourage you to do. Always try new things, especially to save money. So now I'm gonna make my rice, but I'm gonna finish up this bag first. One of the most important rules to live by when it comes to properly managing your inventory is FIFO. First in, first out, right? This was first in, so it's got to be the first out. If you don't follow this rule, you tend to wind up with a bunch of half-open stuff, things going bad, and weird shit growing in the back of your fridge. So make sure you always follow first in, first out, and you'll be able to maximize everything you have in your inventory. You have to remember, when you waste food, you waste money. Another thing when it comes to meal prep is time. So I know that my rice cooker only takes about 20 minutes. So while that's going, I'm going to prep all my stuff to throw in my crock pot. You might be wondering why I'm doing them separately too. It's because I can't plug in both things at the same time. The circuit breaker will trip. So rice cooker first, then crock pot. Most families, maybe not so much anymore, but they would have a recipe box. And in a professional kitchen, we also have a recipe box. They're called the core standardized recipes. Something that the core standardized recipes have in addition to the recipe that you don't really find in most home recipe boxes is how much it costs to make that recipe. The reason why this is so important is because it breaks down how much ingredient is going to cost you on average, and by seeing that whole picture, it allows you to make adjustments to save money. For instance, maybe I'm making chicken noodle soup and I buy in-bone chicken thighs for it. Maybe one day a whole chicken is on sale, right, for cheaper than the in-bone chicken thighs. Then I can switch out those ingredients, and by doing that you're going to save a lot of money. Now, standardizing your recipes does require math. You know, we'll talk about that more in another video, specifically just for how to standardize a recipe. So another thing about meal prepping is downtime, right? So a lot of this stuff is super easy. You know, just throwing things in the crock pot, throwing rice in the rice cooker. So usually while I'm meal prepping, I will cut a lot of vegetables in advance so I can just pull them out of the refrigerator. Another thing to think about is that if you really don't like cutting, a lot of those basic veggies for mirepoix or you know, like onions and peppers are available in the frozen food section already cut, and because they're frozen, they don't have a lot of preservatives. So as part of my meal prep, I'm gonna make stock. I have a video on this. If you don't know how to make stock, I'll make sure it pops up right about here or here. I'm not sure what side. And you can click on that video to learn how to make stock. I was in the grocery store. I actually had to buy some beef stock this month because I just haven't been getting any steaks from the butcher box with beef bones in them lately. And I want to make a borscht in the crock pot, so I'm going to use that. Let me show you. Alright, so I got 1 quart. This was $3.89, and that's ridiculous. Stock is pretty much made from kitchen garbage. It's all the leftover vegetable scraps and bones, just boiled in water and strained out for the most part. Saving a lot of money right there off things that you would normally throw out. So, rant on about stock. I'm going to take my stuff out of the freezer, throw them in here, cover them with water, start that boil. Alright, so next in my meal prep is my chili. It's my crock pot item, and I don't really have a recipe for chili. It kind of has like the same similar things, but it changes every time I make it depending on what I have on hand. Okay, so even though my ingredients change most of the time, what I do is I always layer them the same. So because I'm not searing this on the stove, but I want the meat to cook first, I put that on the bottom. I'm probably going to put some of the garlic in there too because it has a little bit of oil, but this is nice and fatty anyway, so it'll cook in its own fat since we're going low and slow. How this looks, because it's meal prep, it's meant to be quick and easy and carefree. I'll mix it up a bunch of times, so I'm not really worried about breaking it up or anything either. So my timing's pretty good. I'm going to plug this in. I unplugged the rice, so now I was worried about my circuit breaker. And my stock is about to come to a boil. I want to let that boil for a couple minutes, and then I'll turn it down and let it simmer for maybe until tomorrow. Depends when I feel like straining it. So I just put the chili on high for 4 hours, and then the rice is in there. Now all that's left is to start cooking the asparagus and the steak for dinner. But basically all my meal prep stuff is done. It's 4:30. I started this video around 2:45, and it obviously takes me a lot longer to meal prep or cook anything when I do a video, because I have to explain what I'm doing and talk and figure out better ways to say things and try to stop saying and you know, I got tongue tied most of the time. So yeah, it takes me a lot longer to make a video than just a straight cook. So it took me 2 hours. It would probably take me less than an hour to get all this stuff if I was just quiet and doing my work. So I'm sure it wouldn't take you guys that long either. So I hope this helps you with your meal prepping. And I'm going to go cook this sirloin cap just like I did in my steak video, but instead of on the grill, I'm going to be doing it in a pan. So I'm going to go do that and cut up some vegetables, maybe have a beer. It's very stress relieving because I'm preparing for the week and I'm also saving money, so it's nice. Also, here was buy one get one, so that's another, you know, sale item you want to think about. You know, buy one get one, you got one for cooking, one for drinking. So in the comments below, if you tell me, you know, do you know what percentage you're spending on your groceries every month? You know, how often do you go out? This all adds up, and going out doesn't just mean going to a restaurant, which I know pretty much no one is doing right now. It also means, you know, picking up some Chipotle, picking up some ready-made food that you're paying a higher price for because you're paying for the labor for it to get made, right? And it's not always made with the highest quality ingredients because, as we know, in restaurants, they always try to keep the cost as low as they can because they run on very tight profit margins. So that said, I hope you find the information in these kitchen budget videos valuable, and please leave any suggestions or anything you'd like to hear about in the comments. Thanks for stopping by Chef Grace's place, and I hope to see you again very soon.